So let's go ahead and take a look right now at the Rose City Sky Camera. It looks beautiful outside, kind of like yesterday, but with a bit more clouds if you notice. 52 degrees is where we're sitting right now. Winds are nice and calm, which is always nice. And so today will be a little similar to yesterday. I mean, we'll be seeing 70s, but expect temperatures to be a little bit cooler and more cloud coverage. So taking a look at our satellite, not yet, you haven't seen the clouds yet, but again, as we get throughout the rest of our day, we're going to have high clouds moving into the area. And by this evening, expect to see mostly cloudy conditions past 6 o'clock or so. And so that will continue and take us into Memorial Day. But first, taking a look at temperatures right now, we're sitting at, of course, 52 here, 49 in Westland, 48 in Beaverton, lots of 40s today. Taking a look at the coastal areas, temperatures in the 50s, 52 in Newport, 49 degrees in Astoria. And so, again, temperatures will be trending up. You'll see the highs right now. As we get to Sunday around 2 o'clock today, we're going to see temperatures get up to upper 60s, 76 in the Dalles. They've been warmer than us recently, and the coastal areas are going to linger in the upper 50s and low 60s today. As we get toward the later hours, temperatures getting up to around 71 degrees here at home, and potentially could get a little warmer than that. 68 in Salem, coastal areas holding on to those 50s and 60s. So likely by around noon, again, we're around 68. By around 5 p.m., expect more of those clouds to roll in. Temperatures around 74. After that, we're going to see some light showers by tomorrow. We'll break that all down in a bit. Libby?
Thank you, Celine. Today marks 5 years since George Floyd was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis. The case launched racial justice rallies across the country, including more than 100 consecutive nights of protests right here in Portland. Saturday, demonstrators gathered and marched through Portland to keep that message alive. Here's Kyle Aboshi.
Demonstrators have many of the same demands today that they had 5 years ago. They're calling for police accountability, racial justice, and the hope no one forgets George Floyd. Protesters marched peacefully through the streets of Portland. Their message?
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter! Whose lives matter? Black lives matter!
It's been 5 years since George Floyd was murdered, and to see folks still come out in support for him and still demanding change, it's a beautiful thing.
Demonstrators hope to reignite conversation about racial justice and accountability.
This is the time. There's too much chaos and division and violence happening in our country right now, and it's time for more bridges.
The rally comes 5 years after Minneapolis police killed George Floyd.
No justice, no peace!
His murder set off protests and riots across the country.
Regardless of color, regardless of ideology, there was a common recognition that we needed to address our history and the violence and oppression of black and brown bodies.
For more than 100 consecutive nights, people in Portland gathered and marched to protest police policies and call for racial justice. At times, they clashed with police and federal agents sent to Portland to quell the demonstrations. In June of 2020, thousands of demonstrators laid down on the Burnside Bridge in a powerful tribute to George Floyd. On Saturday, demonstrators revisited the iconic moment at the very same location. They stood in a circle, silent, for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. The same amount of time police knelt on George Floyd's neck, leading to his death.
George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd!
In addition to police reform, demonstrators called on local leaders and businesses to create greater opportunities for Portland's black community. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
In Southwest Washington, the U.S. Coast Guard has suspended its search for a 15-year-old boy off the coast of Long Beach. The teen was swimming with 2 adults before sunset Friday when they ran into trouble in the water about 100 yards from shore. A local rescuer on a jet ski saved the adults, but the 15-year-old has not been found. A Coast Guard helicopter from Astoria and a boat from Cape Disappointment searched for the 15-year-old before crews suspended the rescue effort at about 12:30 Saturday morning. Coast Guard officers say this case is a good reminder to watch out for dangers along the coast this time of year.
You know, we have beautiful coast here in Washington and Oregon. Make sure you know about the currents and the waves. Those can really pull you out pretty fast. And you just want to always be ready and be prepared to deal with that sort of thing.
Crews battled tough conditions during the rescue efforts, including intense waves, strong tides, and warm or water temperatures that were chilly in the mid-50s. The Lebanon Fire Department is investigating numerous car fires and an explosion that left one person dead. It happened Saturday morning near the intersection of West Grant and 8th Streets. Firefighters arrived to find 2 cars fully engulfed in flames. While putting the fire out, a different car exploded, sending debris everywhere, damaging a nearby home and hurting 2 firefighters. It was only after putting out the fires they found the remains of a person that had been living in one of the cars. The police living in the damaged home are displaced until power can be restored. An Oregon State scientist says climate change is leading to an existential crisis for our animals. Professor William Ripple and a team of researchers analyzed data sets which show climate change is threatening 3,500 species, from blue whales to seals to pandas and elephants. They say climate change can lead to extreme events like heat waves, wildfires, and droughts, and in turn lead to mass mortality events for animals. A heat dome in 2021 led to the die-off of billions of invertebrates like mussels, clams, and crabs in the Pacific Northwest. They say events like that show how vulnerable wild animals can be to the changing climate and how important it is to study the effects.
People are often aware of what's going on in their area, but if we could have a database where, as these die-offs are happening, they're entered into the database so that we have a broad spectrum understanding of what's going on, that would be also very helpful.
And they say reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting ecosystems, which help absorb CO2, are the best steps to protect wildlife. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer, which means people will soon be hitting the water, and lifeguards have been brushing up their skills. Friday at Glen Auto Park, lifeguards held drills for a variety of rescue scenarios, including rope bag throws, paddleboard entries, kayak rescues, and deep water dives. They say our rivers are among the most challenging places to work due to changing conditions that keep them on their toes.
You'll hear us today practicing our yells, swimmer, do you need assistance? You might hear one of us yelling that at you before actually heading in to do a verbal or even a physical check to make sure that you're okay. Our goal is to make sure everyone out here is having a great time, but a safe time more importantly.
Lifeguards will be stationed at Glen Auto Park and High Rocks on the Clackamas River and Gladstone daily through September. Check this out. An Oregon man successfully completed his sailing voyage to Hawaii with just himself and his cat as the boat's crew. Saturday, the Coast Guard escorted Oliver Wigger's boat to Hawaii, capping off his 25-day trans-Pacific trip. And it wasn't just Oregonians following this trip. Wigger arrived to a big crowd. He told everyone, while it was a solo journey, he wasn't totally alone.
I would also FaceTime friends and stuff, so I didn't get the full experience, which in a way I wish I did. Because all of the legends, that have crossed oceans before have never had Starlink and stuff, and they all go insane in a way. And I kind of I wanted to experience that.
He was honored with a certificate and a lot of cat food for his sailing partner, Phoenix.